Welcome to the new year. This is the time of year where a lot of us start to set resolutions that we're going to commit to for the year. And I've been there, just announcing at a New Year's Eve party, these are my 10 resolutions that I'm committing to this year. For me, it was typically eating better, working out more, starting a business. These resolutions honestly meant absolutely nothing. I thought they did at the time, but realistically, within a couple weeks of going to the gym, I would stop going. Within a month of eating better, I would go back to my old ways. Then I would just forget about it until the next new year when I would basically make the same resolutions again. This didn't better my life in any way. And it's kind of what all my friends did, so it wasn't really a big deal or something that I thought about. But now that I understand the importance of having goals, I understand the difference between a goal and a resolution. To start, the simple definition of a goal is something tangible and specific that you're working towards. A resolution is vowing to start or stop doing something. So as you can see, a resolution is super basic compared to a goal. Just because you set a goal versus a resolution doesn't mean much either. If you just have a more complicated statement that you're making, like, I'm going to pay off all my debt, and then I leave it at that, that's really no better than a resolution either. What makes a goal so important is the steps that you commit to reach that goal. The reason that these steps are so important is they're basically the playbook by which you're going to accomplish your goal. Every goal has to have steps that you are going to take to achieve it, because that is the only way that you can make sure that you're on track. So if your goal is that you're going to have all your debt paid off by April 30th, the steps that you can do is commit to how much you're going to put down weekly in order to pay off your debt, cut up your credit cards, and get a second job. Those are all steps that you can do, and that if you do, you could get all your debt paid off by whatever date that you pick. If you just said, I'm going to pay off all my debt this year, you're probably not going to do it, and that's why these steps are so important. So let me talk about the process of setting goals. I've read a lot of books about setting goals, and this stuff is really important in order for you to successfully set goals for yourself. And you have to remember that how you set the goal is going to either set you up for failure or success. So this is extremely important that you know how to do this. So the first thing you want to do is you want to either look at your resolutions that you made, or if you didn't make any, to think in your life what you want to accomplish. And you need to pick 1 to 3 things that are most important to you. If you're going to go and set 10 goals, you're not going to achieve them. And if you do, the goals you're setting are way too simple. 1 to 3 goals for the year, some big meaty goals that you really want to meet that are really going to impact your life. That's what you should be focusing on. So step 1 is to figure out what those 1 to 3 things are. The second step is making your goals SMART. They should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So let me explain to you what that means. So obviously, specific is specific. But instead of, I want to eat better, you might say, I'm going to eat X amount of servings a day of fruits and vegetables. Instead of saying, I'm going to get in better shape, you can be more specific around that. How exactly are you going to get in better shape? Instead of saying, I'm going to start a business, be more specific. What kind of business are you going to start? The second thing is measurable. You have to be able to measure a goal. Starting a business can't really be measured. Like, what does that mean to start a business? Does that mean you just posted something that said you started a business? Does that mean you got an LLC? It has to be very measurable. You need to look at it and say you did do it or you didn't do it. There can be no gray area. And number 3, it has to be attainable, right? So you don't want to make these goals that are unrealistic because you'll never accomplish them. So the goal has to be attainable. You have to be able to see the light for the goal. Relevant is the next part of a SMART goal. And that just means making sure that the goal fits with what you're trying to achieve. Lastly is time-bound. And time-bound is very important. That is setting a time limit on your goal. And not only should you set a time limit on your goal, but you should set time limits on the steps below your goal. Because the time is the only thing that you can measure that tells you if you're on track or off track. If you say that you are going to start going to the gym, 4 days a week on January 13th, then you can say, I'm on track in doing that, or I'm not on track and I'm not doing that. If you don't put a date on it, then things don't get done. So you need to make sure that every single goal and every single step in your goal has a timestamp on it. Step 3 is creating a plan. As we talked about before, you need to break your goal down into smaller, achievable steps. This is going to make it feel less overwhelming and give you a roadmap to follow. Also, as we said before, you will know if you're on or off track on your goal. And it's important too to write down your goal. So when you're putting these steps into practice, you need to write it down. If you don't write it down, you're not going to remember any of it. And I actually like to put my goal on my bathroom mirror so that I can see it every single day. And I either feel guilty because I'm neglecting it and not working towards it, or I feel really good knowing that I am working towards my goal every single day. Step 4 is to surround yourself with people that support your goal. So when you have a big goal, sometimes you don't know exactly how to achieve it. And this is where people and resources that you surround yourself with are going to either help you or hurt you. If you're surrounding yourself with people that also have goals that they're working towards, or you surround yourself with people that are where you aspire to be, then they will help you achieve your goal and you can learn a lot from them. Whereas if you're hanging out with people that don't really have any motivation, that aren't interested in your goals, then they're going to demotivate you because they're going to want to go play video games or go out drinking when you could be doing things to work towards that goal. You really are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. And you always have to remember that, and you can't be in denial about that. So if you're hanging around with people that aren't where you want to be, you really need to change that this year and start hanging out with people that are where you want to be. And that's going to really impact your life. And number 5 is stay disciplined. So I hate it when people say stay motivated, because you're not going to stay motivated. You're going to wake up on days and not want to do your work towards your goal. You're going to wake up on days and you want to be lazy. But if you stay disciplined, Ed Milet said this the best, staying disciplined. Those of us that are successful, we're not motivated every day. Nobody is, but we're disciplined every day. So I really want you to change your mindset around motivation and change it more to discipline. And that's the discipline is what's going to help you accomplish your goals, not the motivation. Make this year the year your life starts to change. Comment below and let me know what goals you're setting. And I think that could be really beneficial to the audience as well. And if you want to check out another video Ken did where he broke down his SMART goals, click on the link below.